Can I say, phew? Of course, if you're watching the video, you don't think that I was running late, but my God, I was running late. Man, but I am so excited. This message just came to me late, and or as they say, it came on time. So as I put in the intro, I might not get through I'll get through the broadcast, but I might redo this message with a little bit more time and a little bit more pizzazz to it for next week. But at least you can see how, and maybe, even as I think about what the message is about, that may even be a great plan, because you're going to see me get it started today. And since I'm going to end up finishing it, put the finishing touches on it and have it ready for you next week. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Sometimes you just got to talk it out. But again, let me know where you're viewing in from, even if you're on the video, and we'll get it rolling with that. I am enjoying this already, so I can give you my shout outs. Okay. But here we go. So first of all, goodness to you. Goodness. And I say goodness. Why? Because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening. But isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? Welcome to Truth Thursday. I named it welcome to Truth Thursday, where we recognize that TRUTH, tests are rarely understood until testimonies heal them. See, so in creating this broadcast title, first what I decided to do was go with the fact that truth only needs half the letters in the word Thursday, TRUTH and U and the R. Okay, it's the only letters you need for truth. Second, we've all heard that the truth shall set you free. But what we have to realize is that freedom can be a tough choice, because freedom is actually a result. You see, my affirmation for free is FREE, facts, risk, empathy, and excellence. Like truth, TRUTH, you'll find it in my book, Affirmations. Now, an affirmation is an acronym that defines the word and turns it into an affirmation. Okay, so using just facts, risk, empathy, and excellence. Okay, using that plus risk as RISK as an affirmation in itself, we're reminded that once you know who you are, you have to also be ready to take a chance on being who you are. Risk. Recognition is success is key. Hey, what's going on, Roger Carroll? Recognition is success is key. Once you realize who you are, you have to now take a chance on being who you are. Okay, so we may not know how important it is to take that chance until we do. But one thing I always say is that recognize that freedom is always worth the risks. So let's get into what truth stands for. We'll continue to start by embracing that first word, which is test, TEST. You see, test is the root of the word testimony. You can't have the freedom, the forecast, or the fullness of a testimony without the first four letters, without the test. Thus, my guiding scripture today will be John 14:27. My peace I give unto you. Now, my peace I give unto you, John 14:27, is a scripture where Jesus assures his disciples that his peace is different from the world's peace and will bring them comfort and courage, even in difficult times. And that connects us to today's test that I call peace in the puzzle. Now, some of you may have noticed that I've started to incorporate the top line in more of my memes that I post. I usually end them with the top line is. Okay, and that's the top line. Well, actually, that's my company's name. And when I chose to create that as my company name, it was for two different thought processes. One, I believe that life is about going from one puzzle to the next. In all of your business, family, and social relationships, you are either a small, medium, or large piece of the puzzle. Yet, no matter what puzzle piece size you see yourself as, without you, that puzzle is called incomplete. Here's an example. You may be the large piece parent in your home. Yet, once you leave your home, you become the small piece among the hundreds of people around you, according to where you live, who are heading to work or wherever you're going. And then when you get to work or wherever you're going, you may end up being the medium piece supervisor in your department, or the biggest spender in the store, the medium spender in the store. Okay. So you're a large, small, or medium piece of every puzzle. That's one reason. My second reason that I chose my company name is that so often we hear people talk about the bottom line, whether in business or in life. Well, I believe you can't get to the bottom line of anything without dealing with the entry point, which is the top. Business and life are about dealing with people and their feelings. How someone feels about you is impacted by how they feel about themselves. And how you feel can determine that for them in the moment. So recognize if you're the large piece in the puzzle, your cranky mood can cause the mediums and the small pieces to walk on eggshells, even as expensive as eggs are, to walk on eggshells and be careful about what they say or do around you. Now, even if you're the large piece and you're in a cranky mood, there's another option. See, they may alternatively decide that there's something they can do to cheer you up and put aside what they're dealing with to get you through. See, so it doesn't, your mood, because you're the largest piece, doesn't, and you're in a cranky mood, doesn't automatically mean that everybody has to bow to you. Sometimes what we do is we look at that large piece, we look at that parent, that supervisor, that boss, that teammate, and say, hey, they're not doing so good, and we need them to get it together. What can we do to help them get it together? So there's always an option, right? So I wanted you to see that. But each of these scenarios and pieces act or counteract with one another, and then each of them becomes what I call the top line. Thus, there are no bottom line results without top line consideration. So let's go to the puzzle that we're talking about. A few months ago, I mentioned the calm feeling that came over me as I sat and put a puzzle together, not remembering the last time that I'd ever done so. While sending out an inspirational email, I told the story how one of my friends, Katrina Talbot, walked into the lobby of the recreational center where I was doing the puzzle. Now, we hadn't seen one another in over a year, so we hugged and celebrated. And in our process of catching up, she mentioned a couple of puzzles that she had and offered to gift me one with 1,000 pieces. Well, in that email, one of my little brothers, Paul Yohei, decided to gift me with a customized 500-piece puzzle of my favorite football team, the Dallas Cowboys. Here, the puzzle shows my name on the back and has my favorite number, 27, which is the day in August that I was born. Meanwhile, I celebrate today, March 27th, as one of my month anniversaries because I'm now a month older. So I'm 69 in September, October, November, December, January, February, March. I'm 69 and 7 months old. Always find something to celebrate. I digress. I return. But let's go back to the puzzle. You start out by creating the boundaries. Yet the challenge with boundaries is that they sometimes can be too rigid and sometimes too soft. Most often, according to our own estimation, I'm too soft on that. Oh, I'm too hard on that. But then we spend time criticizing ourselves about them and trying to figure out how to conform to other people's specifications. And we lose ourselves in forgetting what they're meant to be. And that is, I prefer them as guidelines. They're meant to be guidelines, not boundaries. You see, with guidelines, we go in accepting the fact that there's no etched in stone way of handling things, and therefore instantly afford ourselves the grace of having a way out to make adjustments without blame. Here I'm jokingly pointing to a way out on a missing piece. But this way out in the puzzle can also be seen as being judgmental. Perhaps too quickly, I decided that this puzzle was delivered to me with a missing piece. So enter the P in peace as patience. We cannot know if we'll make it to the C for completion until we're all out of pieces to connect. So understanding the guidelines, okay, Paulie touched upon the E for emphasis. As one of the lessons that my father made clear to me is that I could wear my favorite player's number, yet never his name on my back. You see, my father said, if you wear another man's name on your back, that means that he owns you. So let's remember to allow, let's remember to allow the A to stand for acceptance after we see it as alone. You see, my mother said, you came into this world by yourself and you'll leave the same way. Now, I'll break that down as you start out. I'll break that down as, I'll break that. See, this is why I say I'm going to redo this. It came in and I rushed it. You see, I didn't even make my 1 o'clock. But anyway, I'm going to break that down as saying you start out alone, yet you realize that you can't grow or you can't make it alone. You can't play the game from the stands. You can't play the game from the stands. You have to get on the court. You have to get on the field. You have to get into the ring. You have to get inside the puzzle. Now, once in, you start to feel your way around and you try to see what pieces you have and where you can go. In the lower right corner of your ear, you hear your parents, you hear your friends, you hear your mentors encouraging you to get it together, to find a way to get stronger. Well, you learn that two heads are better than one, as are 2 arms, 2 legs, and ultimately lessons. One of the lessons that I learned is that as people start to materialize in your life, you appreciate their camaraderie. Yet, peace requires that there are times when you'll have to stay focused and continue to look and move forward. There'll be times when you don't see anything in your peripheral vision and you'll feel like there's nothing inside to keep you standing upright. You'll feel like you're struggling, and sometimes a little like that struggle will be in vain because you still can't put your hand on or get your arms around why you have to sweat through a life that you want to be easy, or at least easier. Someone new hands you a towel and starts to encourage you. You feel yourself getting stronger. In fact, during this segment of my puzzle, an old friend, Rashad Willis, came through the CLT, through Charlotte, I call it the CLT, for a visit. And he loved the puzzle idea as well. And like a little excited boy, he sat at the table to lend a hand. In doing so, I watched his approach and learned another process toward my completion. You see, he started putting the pieces together outside of the puzzle rather than focusing on putting the puzzle together. As I wrote to him in a text, here's how I progressed after you reminded me to put the pieces together and let the puzzle prosper. You see, the truth is, peace requires and emphasizes patience and acceptance of what so many of us pray or hear prayed, that God would never bring you this far to leave you uncovered, that he's not finished with you yet, that the game is not over until the fat lady sings, that on the 7th day he rested after completion of his creation. Everybody and everything was included or evolved from his empathetic process. Oh, there's still a way out, yet not really until we get it all together. That empty feeling in your gut turns into knowing that other people have your back and that you will pull it together one piece at a time according to his will. As I said, I didn't get to finish it, but I want to just show you, as I'm still going to be working on it. Here are the words used to put peace together: patience, people, prayer, progress, process, prosper, pull, peripheral, emphasize, everyone, everything, evolution, excited, exactly, acceptance, allow, alone, approach, all, complex, creation, court, connected, continue, encourage, empathy, empathetic, easier. How many of them are reminding you to be empathetic and recognize that we may not have walked in one another's shoes or know exactly what someone else has been through? Yet we've all sat in one another's row because we've all been through and are going through something. We all recognize we are all responsible for our piece of the puzzle and our piece in the puzzle. As I say, what's going on to my nephew, Ja? Remember, tests are rarely understood until their testimonies heal them. And freedom can be a tough choice because it's a result. Be the piece in the puzzle that you were meant to be. I'm Sporty King. Have a wonderful, peaceful weekend. And like I said, I'm going to let this be the start of this creation, and I'm going to piece it together for next week because I think I can make a nicer message out of it and a more fluid one. So again, hello to Roger Carroll. Hey, what's going on to my nephew, Ja? Call me today. I have a ticket for you if you're coming to the event. All right. Okay. Oh, that's for me, y'all. Don't be reading that and thinking you could call Ja. But thank y'all for joining in. Like I said, I'm going to get the message more fuller. And that's also a part of being at peace with yourself. I'm not, oh my God, I didn't get the message. Hey, I'm at peace. The message came when it was supposed to come. And that's the joy that we have to remember and give ourselves some grace. Grace is related to peace. You got to laugh it off sometimes. You're not here to please everybody. You've seen that in my posts and, not just recently, but over time, I've always reminded people that you are here to please yourself. And in the process of, you're here to put yourself first. In the process of putting yourself first, what you will do is help other people. You'll end up taking care of the people that you love. See, it's not necessarily, oh, you're putting yourself first. That's selfish. No, it's selfish. I can't take care of you if I don't take care of myself because I need to be whole so that I can give you the delivery that you need to be treated the way you need it, to make sure that you spell beginning with that last ing. Okay. That's the key. See, so see, if Roger Carroll's not whole with it's a great begin. No, it's a great beginning. Put yourself as whole. Put yourself first, and then you can take care of one another. Hey, so that's the great beginning of the message. And like I said, I just decided while I was done, I said, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm gonna go with using it 2 weeks in a row. But thank you. God bless you. I'm going to wait. I'll give it a 10-second count in case there's a final comment other than beginning, because we're always, that beginning, because we're always at a new beginning. Every day begins, Happy New Year. Today begins a new 365 days. That's a year, isn't it? And like I said, today is my 69 and 7-month celebration. Always something to celebrate. There's always a beginning, just as there's always an end. And end, or you didn't know, but end is END. It's an exciting new day. Look, God bless you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and always believe in the one. God bless you. Take care. Peace.